Welcome to If Only, an exhibition of works by 5 regional artists who incorporate feminist issues in their artworks. The show is curated by Natalie Andrews and will run from September 26 to November 7, 2020. Come see the show any day the library is open, Monday through Saturday. Please visit olivefreelibrary.org for the most current opening hours. Although 2020 is the centennial of the women's right to vote in the United States, the struggle for women's rights continues. There are still many issues facing most women in this country and around the world today that prevent true gender equality. If Only shows the works of 5 female artists that focus on feminist issues in their artworks. While going around the library's community gallery, the 5 participating artists are Catherine Umstead, born in Newport, Rhode Island. Catherine Umstead grew up in small towns in South Carolina and Illinois. Identifying as a sculptor, Catherine makes works which reflects her personal response to her world experience. This has included helmets, breastplates, shields, and chainmail dresses. In this show, we have 5 life-size breastplates on display, 1 chainmail dress, and a collection of tiaras. The smashed tiaras were created by Catherine from wire and glitter, then put on Broadway in New York City, and after cars and trucks had driven over them, she glued them onto a pink felt background, a response to beauty pageants and the girls' princess complex. Catherine lives and works in New York City and Hudson, New York. Next is Carol Kunstad. Carol Kunstad is a multimedia artist living and working in West Hurley, New York. Her works in the exhibition are comprised of 3 different series. Pressing On, a collection of antique irons shown upright on ironing boards with their flat bottoms collaged with pages from abolitionist, feminist Hannah More's book and variously scorched, cut, woven and layered with textiles, thread, lace, fur, tacks, and sandpaper, integrating history, memory, domesticity, and celebrating women's political and public voice. More's lifelong cause was galvanizing women to act not as domestic ornaments, but as thinking, engaged, and responsible beings. The second series is Ovum, a tribute to Margaret Fuller, the 19th century educator, social reformer, abolitionist, and women's rights advocate. Consists of sculptures, one using an ostrich egg densely lined with Margaret Fuller's text, and another using a found bird's nest, cradling a porcelain egg with Fuller's text lining the nest. One of Fuller's most significant works, Woman in the 19th Century, is considered the first major feminist work in the United States, first published in 1845. And the third series is Ovum Breakthrough, wall-hung collage works cut and recombined from 19th century naturalist bookplate illustrations of bird eggs with silk thread as a linear and textural element, contributing to the abstracted patterning not only of quilt making, but also needlework samplers. Also on display and for sale at $55 are Carol Kunstad's books about her Pressing On Antique Irons series. The third artist in the exhibition is Yvette Lewis. Yvette Lewis's work is sensual, organic, and emotional, with images based on nature. Rocks, leaves, seeds, vines, and roots float and drift across the canvas in soft, ambiguous space. The image of both the paintings and monotypes in this show evoke the power and receptivity of the feminine. Colors are rich, vibrant, and infused with light. Yvette paints in oils, using traditional glazing techniques, as well as loose, expressive brushwork. Yvette Lewis lives and works in Saugerties, New York. Next up is Jacinta Bunnell. Jacinta Bunnell, visual mixed media art, is inspired by miniature people and toys constructed primarily from recycled materials. She has a huge stash of patterned, quirky Superbly Alive paper, which she has been collecting since childhood. The exhibition shows 8 of her whimsical collages, some of them in collaboration with Cindy Hoos. Jacinta is the author of 4 coloring books, of which 2 are on display and for sale at $10 each in this show. Girls Are Not Chicks and Sometimes the Spoon Runs Away with Another Spoon. Jacinta's art and collaborations touch upon a desire in us to be more closely connected to the tenderness that resides in our hearts. And the last artist in this show is Natalie Bravo Barbie. Natalie Sabina Bravo Barbie, born in Cordoba, Argentina, creates works at the boundary of sculpture and photography. Bravo Barbie has been photographing her world since the age of 15, incorporating alternative processes such as cyanotype into her practice. The artist's practice uncovers lived memories of her family's flight from Argentina while simultaneously investigating post-colonial and feminist topics. She lives and works in Queens, New York. Natalie's most recent project, Femicide Florals, of which there are 27 on display in this exhibition, examines gender-based violence against women in Argentina, investigating and documenting the country's rising number of femicides. Each cyanotype flower represents a specific victim of femicide, memorialized with a label that honors each woman by her name. The exhibition also includes Natalie's cyanotypes framed on watercolor paper and on a dress on a mannequin. Lastly, there are 16 of Natalie's prognatus photographs, which show her body during her pregnancy and right after the birth of her baby boy. Again, please come see If Only up through November 7. Visit olivefreelibrary.org for more details.